Master of Orion tips. These are some tips for playing the game Master of Orion. If you cannot find a fair research trade, try trading with another civilization. And this is about research. There's many civilizations in the game that you can trade with, and usually you're going to either ask for one of their research items or offer one of your own. And if they won't give you a fair trade, try another civilization and go back and forth between civilizations trading research. Scout as quickly as possible to make contact with other civs as quickly as possible. The advantage to making contact with other civs is that you can trade research throughout the game. And the more you trade research, the faster you're going to advance. Second of all, you can do trade agreements that bring in a lot of money. I made tons of money with trade agreements. So establish trade and research treaties. And what a trade agreement does is it brings you money per turn. And what a research treaty does is after a certain number of turns, maybe it's 20 turns, you'll earn research points. Or you might earn a technology. Build military outposts quickly to block choke points. So the Space Factory can build a listening station or a surveillance station. And you can build them anywhere as long as it's on a warp point. So build them very quickly, and what will happen is they will keep an eye on what's going on. And if someone wants to start a war with you, you'll know right away, and you'll know where everyone is. And it will help you when you deploy your military and when you decide which way you're going to advance. And the other thing that's going to happen is you're going to find that there are some solar systems that are isolated, which means you can save them for later. You want to go after the key solar systems, and they're going to need that space factory to build those military outposts in the right location. Build asteroid mines to earn credits. So you can build either research or mining as a factory, and you want to earn credits. So don't build the research ones. Build the ones that are for credits. You will always need credits throughout the game. Research is different. Once you research everything, you can stop researching. Try to research the tech that takes the lowest time, especially if you do trade treaties. You don't want to do a trade agreement and then get a tech that could have taken you 2 or 3 turns. So research the tech that takes the lowest amount of time, and then when you trade, try to trade for the ones that take longer. In some cases, they're going to be more expensive to trade for. However, the benefit is when you do a trade treaty, or if you steal research, if you steal technology, you don't want to steal something that has no value. You want to steal something that has a lot of value. So for your research, do the ones that take the lowest amount of time. Pirate bases are in asteroid clusters. If a solar system doesn't have an asteroid cluster, there's a chance it might not have a pirate base. Use credits to finish production, especially on the final day, so you don't get reduced production points. So let's say you need 100 production every day to build something, but it takes 510 production points. That'll be 5 days, and on the last day it will do 10 production points. You're wasting 90 production points if you let the building build it on the final day. So what you do is use your credits on the final day, as long as you get a good price, to pay for the last day of production. And then if you're getting 100 per turn, when you start your new turn, you'll get the full 100. If you don't do that, you're only going to get a fraction of what the remaining value was. Whenever you acquire technology, try to trade it with other civs. If you don't do that, eventually they're going to acquire it and they're going to trade it with each other. And then you have no trade value. So you want to trade it immediately, and it has the greatest trade value if you trade it immediately. You can trade captured prisoners. So if you have a spy, you can trade them. You can trade to sell the ones that you've captured or to acquire the return of your spies that have been captured. Some of your spies have a high level, like level 5. You're going to want them back. And remember, it's very cheap for them to create a new spy, so you might as well just sell it to them. When entering a solar system, colonize a planet that has the highest possible population. So what you do is, in the solar system, you hover the mouse over all the planets, and it will show you the maximum population. And I colonize the ones with the highest population first. Build star bases to reduce the cost of maintaining your fleet. So you have a star base, and there's at least 3 different types of star bases. And you have something called a command point. And the command point is required. You need a certain number of command points per spaceship. If you don't have enough, you have to pay using credits. So if you build star bases, a star base might only cost you 1 credit per turn, but you might lose 50 credits per turn by losing your fleet. You might lose your fleet. If you're low on credits, go and try to trade. So there's obviously different things you can do when you're low on credits. For example, you can increase your taxes. You can get rid of some of your buildings, get rid of your research buildings, because eventually you're not going to need them anymore anyway. Or go and try and trade, and you can click on each person, see how much money they have, and just put in the amount of money that they have and say, what would you trade for this, and see what they'll take. So you try to add the enemy civ's total credit balance and see what they will trade for it. When you meet a new civ, try to trade immediately. Some items, such as technology, you want to acquire it through trade or espionage. Second of all, as time goes by, the amount of cash that they have in credits is going to go up and down. You want to trade when they have credits. And if you bankrupt them, then they won't be able to build their civilization as easily. If you pay to produce something, check your larger planets first. You will get better return on your investment. So if you're going to pay for production, do it on your big planets. All the bonuses are better on the big planets. All the percentages, etc. You're going to produce a lot more. For example, if you get +1 production, you'd rather do it on your big planet because you're going to be doing +25 production or more on those big planets, and on the small planets you might not be. Space creatures can attack planets. I've had that happen. I went and I colonized a planet. A space creature attacked the planet and bombarded it and destroyed the colony. Eventually you run out of research. Eventually you max out the population, but you never run out of production because you're always going to be building spaceships. Prioritize production for small planets and large. So eventually every planet has a maximum number of people, and eventually you research all the technology. So that's food and research, but you never run out of production. You can always produce more and more and more and more and more. So you want to prioritize production in the long run, especially for a small planet. A small planet, there's planets that only have a population of 4. So eventually you're going to reach that population. If you keep on putting food facilities, you're going to waste a lot of that food production. Try to research galactic trading to earn more money. And there's obviously more. I'm just using this as an example. Try offering credits such as 500 to a civ and see what he offers in return. Occasionally check your fleet to see if any ships can be upgraded. The other thing I recommend, look for the battleship and click on the battleship in the research tree and start researching that tech. And it will research all the prerequisites, because once you get the battleship, you'll be much stronger in combat, and same with the Titan. And in terms of the Death Star, or whatever they call it, the final one, you can only build one of them. Credits from trade deals are earned and paid per turn. You can do it with every civ. After a while, they might not trade with you because after time, you're going to be going to war and they're less likely, they're more hesitant to trade with you, or they just might not have any money. If you only build one spy center, build it as soon as possible. It is cheap to train spies and they are very useful. You only build one spy center. Build it soon and start training your spies, and they're very useful because you can steal the technology and you can do planet revolts. And I had it done to me and I did a couple to the others. They're easy to do. This game is similar to the game Civilization. If you like Civilization, you will like this game. Edit your ship blueprints. Add this 25% storage upgrade. I believe it's called Battle Pods. Anything that takes zero space, such as hull or armor, and anything that reduces the weight or size of missiles or bombs, this will give you more room to add more equipment or weapons. I had a ship that had like 550 capacity, and I was able to bring it up to like 650 or 700 or something like that, just by adding one item like battle pods. And when you reduce the weight of missiles and bombs, you can like double the number of missiles you have. Edit a blueprint to equip about 20 or 40 of the smallest bombs to use when bombarding a city. So you're going to want to have a ship that has a ton of bombs on it. Because when you go bombarding, you have to destroy the population, all of the buildings, and any Marines or tanks that are stationed at that facility. It could be a lot of bombs. And if you only have like 10 bombs, you might have to do 10 turns to bombard the city. So make sure you've got, if you're doing a big fleet, make sure you have at least one that has a ton of bombs. Okay, so these are my tips. They were written October 2022. I have a lot more tips that I'd like to add. So if a lot of time has passed since October 2022, don't forget to go to cheapbooks.cc. Look for Master of Orion on the upper right, or just search for Orion. And you'll see the tips page in turn-based strategy. And don't forget to go to video-game-news.com and look for games such as Master of Orion. And if you're a student and you buy textbooks, go to cheapbooks.com.